Good morning, shareholders. I hope you are able to hear us well. The audio and the video, I suppose, are clear. I am N. Gopal Ratnam, Chairman of Sheshai Paper and Boards Limited, and by virtue of the Articles of Association of the company, I am the chairman for this meeting. I have joined this AGM from our offices at Erode, Tamil Nadu. I hope all of you and your family are in good health and keeping safe. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you for the 62nd AGM of this company. We had originally planned to have this AGM as a hybrid meeting, wherein we will have the opportunity to meet our shareholders in person. However, re-emergence of COVID variant has forced the company to this video conferencing mode. Before we get into the proceedings of this AGM, I, on behalf of all directors, employees, and shareholders of the company, would like to pay homage to Sri V. Pichai, who passed away on May 3rd, 2022 due to prolonged illness. Sri Pichai was the Deputy Managing Director and Secretary of the company and played a significant role in the revival, development, and growth of the company for over 4 decades. I will now proceed with the introduction of directors and auditors. For safety reason, each of us is in a different location. I am joining this AGM from our corporate offices of the company at Erode, and I request other board members on the video conference to introduce themselves. Dr. S. Narayan.
I am Narayan. I am joining independent director of the company. I am joining this meeting from my residence in Chennai.
Mr. V.A.L. Somayaji.
I am Somayaji, independent director of the company. I am joining this meeting from my office at Raja Annamalapuram, Chennai.
Mr. Sridhar.
I am Sridhar, independent director, participating from my residence in Bangalore.
Dr. Nandita Krishna. You are.
I am Nandita Krishna. I am participating in this meeting from my office in Chennai. I am an independent director of the company.
Mr. Mohan Chunkat.
I am Mohan Chunkat, independent director of the company, and I am participating from my residence in Chennai.
Mr. Hansraj Verma, IAS. Yes. I expect that he may join us a little later. Mr. K. Rajkumar, IFS.
Good morning. I'm Raj. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I am Raj Kumar. I'm rotational director. I am attending this meeting from my office at Secretariat.
Mr. Kasi Vishwanathan.
I am Kasi Vishwanathan, MD of the company. I joined this meeting from Erode in our corporate office.
Mr. Ganesh Patti.
I am Ganesh Bharti, Director Operations. I am participating from our Erode office.
Mr. Arun Biju, Special Invitee.
Arun Bijur, I am participating in this meeting from my residence in Bangalore.
Mr. Srinivas.
I'm Srinivas, company secretary. I'm joining this meeting from our corporate office in Erode.
Now let me proceed with the introduction of auditors. Mr. N.R. Suresh. You are muted, Suresh. You are muted. At least I am not able to hear. Anyway, Mr. N.R. Suresh is our statutory auditor.
I am attending this meeting from my office at Chennai, sir.
Good, you are quite audible. Mr. Krishnamurthy.
Yeah, I am N. Krishnamurthy, partner, R. Subramanian Company. I am attending this meeting from my office in Chennai.
Thank you. Mr. Sanjeev Aditya.
Hi, this is Sanjeev Aditya, internal auditor of the company from Surya & Co Chartered Accountants. I'm attending this meeting from my office in Chennai.
Okay. Mr. Kalyan Sundaram, represented by Mr. Karthikeyan.
He is not joined.
Okay, I expect he will join. Mrs. Meena Ramji, cost auditor. Mrs. Ramji?
Yes, Mahadev.
Yes, Mahadev. I find that they have already logged in. There seems to be some disruption in the transmission. Mr. Shankar Subramaniam, scrutinizer. You are muted, Mr. Subramaniam. You are muted. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Increase the volume. We are not able to hear you. Thank you.
186. 186.
Good. That completes the introduction, and then we now proceed with the meeting proper. I find 186 shareholders have joined this meeting through video conference. Hence, we have the requisite quorum present through video conference to conduct the proceedings of this meeting. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by MCA. It's under section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. This quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. I now request Mr. Srinivas, Secretary of the company, to provide general instructions to the members regarding participation in this meeting. Mr. Srinivas.
Good morning to our directors and to our shareholders. Members may note that the 62nd annual general meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Facility for joining this meeting through video conference or other audio-visual means is made available for the members on a first-come, first-served basis. The register of directors and key managerial personnel, register of contracts or arrangements has been made available electronically for inspection by the members during the AGM. Members seeking to inspect such documents can send their request to investors@spbltd.com. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members is not available, and hence the proxy register for inspection is not available. The company has received requests from 8 members to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for these members to ask questions or express their views. The moderator will facilitate the session once the chairman opens the floor for questions and answers. Members can also post their views or questions on the Ask a Question tab on their video conference screens before 12 noon IST. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending on the availability of time at the AGM. The company had provided the facility to cast the votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their vote yet electronically and who are participating in this meeting can cast their votes during the meeting through the remote e-voting system provided by NSDL between 12 noon and 1 p.m. Members are requested to refer to the instructions provided in the notice or appearing on the video conference page for a seamless participation through video conference. In case members face any difficulty, they can reach out on the helpline numbers of NSDL, which is mentioned in the notice to this AGM. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Srinivas. I thank all the members, colleagues of the board and auditors for joining this meeting through video conference. Before I go ahead with my address to the shareholders, for the benefit of the shareholders who have joined the AGM of the company for the first time, I would like to play you a short video presentation capturing the genesis and growth story of our company over more than 6 decades. NSDL, will you play this?
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय.
Lead us from bad to good, from darkness to light. Just as the light dispels darkness, so does literacy dispel ignorance and light up the path of self-development. This desire to awaken his motherland prompted one man, Sri S. Vishwanathan, to establish a paper mill, Seshasai Paper and Boards Limited, SPB, as popularly known in the industry. SPB, a company that produces fine papers, creating lasting impressions, has completed 6 decades of excellence as a trusted, socially responsible and customer-driven organization. SPB was founded by Sri S. Vishwanathan, SV to his friends, a freedom fighter who continued his fight even after 1947 for the country's economic freedom. SPB is a signature of SV's beliefs. Over the last 6 decades, SPB conducts its business on the following principles which Sri SV believed as the role of the industry. Serve the interests of larger sections of society. Serve the cause of poverty alleviation. Work for social upliftment. SPB SVIN Group. SPB is the flagship company of SPB SVIN Group. The other group companies are Punni Sugars, a leading sugar mill in the state of Tamil Nadu; High Energy Batteries India Limited, a company that manufactures high-performance batteries predominantly for the armed forces; SPB PC Limited, the consultancy arm of the group that provides project engineering consultancy in the areas of paper, sugar and ceramics industry; SPB SVIN Advanced Technologies Limited, a company that engages in basic and fundamental research in clean energy. The genesis and the growth story of SPB. The state of Madras, now Tamil Nadu, did not have any paper mill till the 1950s. SPB, at the request of the then state government, was established as the first integrated paper mill in the state of Tamil Nadu in 1960. With a capacity to produce 20,000 tons of paper per annum in collaboration with Parsons and Whitmore, USA, under the dynamic leadership of Sri SV. The government of Tamil Nadu participated in the equity capital of the company and till today remains a major shareholder. The last 6 decades of SPB have been marked by periodic expansion cum modernization drive, most of which under the leadership of Sri N. Gopalaratnam, who succeeded SV as the chairman of SPB SVIN Group of companies. In the first decade, ending 1970, capacity was expanded to 35,000 tons per annum by upgradation of paper machine 2 and addition of paper machine 3. In the second decade, ending 1980, capacity was expanded to 55,000 tons per annum through addition of paper machine 4. In the third decade, ending 1990, company took a key step in structuring its operations for use of bagasse, which was seen as the most reliable source of fiber for the entire industry. In 1984, the company promoted Punni Sugars and Chemicals Limited, a sugar manufacturing unit, as the captive source of bagasse supply. Punni Sugars has today grown to become a leading sugar mill in the state. In the fourth decade, ending 2000, the company embarked on a major expansion drive and increased its capacity from 55,000 tons per annum to 1,15,000 tons per annum by addition of paper machine 5 and by upgradation of some of the existing facilities. In the fifth decade, ending 2010, SPB successfully set up a 21 megawatt captive power plant. In 2006, the company embarked on a major mill development program at a cost of 350 crore rupees to improve and sustain the environmental compliance performance of the company. The project envisaged total replacement of the existing wood pulping equipment of the mill with a 400 tons per day pulp mill sourced from USA, equipped with advanced technological feature like RDH pulping and installation of a new ECF line of chlorine-free bleaching, a modern chemical recovery boiler, a lime reburning kiln and a 16 megawatt turbo alternator set. This Mill Development Plan 1 helped the Erode unit of the company to be self-sufficient in pulp, with in-house pulp completely replacing the costlier imported pulp. The sixth decade, ending 2020, marked another chapter in SPB. SPB, which until then had sought only organic growth opportunities, drafted an ambitious inorganic growth plan through acquisition of a SIC unit in Tirunelveli, Subburaj Papers Limited, which had a capacity of 72,000 tons, expandable to 90,000 tons per annum. The six-decade history, backed by superior project execution skills and ably guided by the experience and expertise of eminent board of directors, had seen the capacity of the company growing over 10 times, from 20,000 tons per annum to over 2 lakh tons per annum.
Our company embarked on a project, namely Mill Development Plan 3, that was undertaken in Erode to augment the pulping capacity as well as paper making capacity, and that was completed this year. The main objectives of MDP3 are increase in paper production, improved quality of all our products, increased pulp production, development of new products, and become competitive by reducing specific consumption of steam, power, water, etc. Our MDP3 project has helped us significantly increase green power by burning biomass, namely black liquor solids, in our chemical recovery boiler. The project has helped us to broadband our product portfolio, and we hope to realize all the benefits of MDP3 in the next few months.
Environment-friendly manufacturing process. The paper manufacturing process in SPB is environmentally friendly and green. SPB's process is energy efficient and elemental chlorine free. Innovative scheme of using treated water for sugarcane cultivation. SPB pioneered a unique, innovative scheme for using its wastewater treated to surface discharge standards. Instead of letting it into the river, SPB diverts its treated water for the cultivation of sugarcane, transforming non-arable dry lands to wetland. Treated water is supplied free to local farmers for cultivation of sugarcane. The farmers in turn sell the sugarcane to Punni Sugars. Punni Sugars uses the sugarcane to produce sugar and supplies its byproduct bagasse to SPB. This unique model has transformed the livelihood of the local farming community. SPB's structured lift irrigation project model has converted the surrounding dry lands into wetlands, thus providing a vast green belt. SPB has entered into a tripartite agreement with the local farmer society and its sister concern Punni Sugars Erode. Over 2,000 acres of dry lands have been converted into cultivable lands, providing livelihood to the farmers in the rural areas to whom this is lifeline. This innovative and successful model has been emulated by other industries. Tree Farming Program. SPB helps farmers to grow trees. As part of its tree farming activity, the company provides quality clonal seedlings of eucalyptus and casuarina, as well as bare-rooted casuarina seedlings at subsidized rates to farmers, and also assists them with technical help to achieve higher yields and revenues. SPB's contribution to society and rural development. SPB has always strived to maintain itself as a company with a human face and a responsible corporate entity. True to the definition of corporate social responsibility, SPB is committed to contribute to economic development of the neighborhood while improving the quality of life of its stakeholders. The 6-decade history is not only marked by ambitious capacity expansion projects, but also marked by ambitious social upliftment addressing rural development and poverty alleviation of the local community. The local community and society at large. SPB spares no effort in the professional development and training of its employees. As part of its employee welfare, SPB provides facilities such as housing quarters at heavily subsidized rates. SPB is actively and effectively involved in the social, economic and cultural development of the communities surrounding its production facilities. Awards, accreditations. SPB has bagged several awards for excellence in environment performance, safety, energy efficiency, etc. Notable recent awards are CII Greenco Gold Rating Award during Greenco Summit held at Pune in the year 2017. Green Award 2017 by Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board for Environment Protection. CII Excellent Energy Efficient Unit Award in the year 2018. SPB has won many awards and has notable recognition for its outstanding achievements in exports, productivity, environment, energy conservation, safety and industrial relations. SPB is certified under the Forest Stewardship Council FSC. SPB has a long-standing record with ISO 9001, ISO 14001, customer focus. The transparency and uniformity of SPB's marketing policies, combined with its dedication to service its customers, has earned SPB a niche place in the paper market, both domestic as well as overseas. SPB exports 15 to 20% of its production annually. SPB exports significant volumes to demanding markets like US, showcases the quality of SPB's products. Financial performance. SPB continues building on its current strengths and innovating its manufacturing process and management approach. SPB, tested by time and trusted by all, will continue to maintain its name synonymous with fine papers, creating lasting impressions.
I hope that the video was clear and audible. I also hope that the video helped you, the shareholders in the company, to understand and appreciate the growth story of SPB and the continuous work done by SPB team in the areas of efficient operations, development of new products, greening the neighborhood, and the massive tree farming. With that, I would like to move on to the customary chairman's address to the shareholders. Dear shareholders, I once again extend a warm welcome to all the shareholders, auditors, my colleagues on the board, and other stakeholders of the company to this 62nd annual general meeting. As I said earlier, I was keenly looking forward to the AGM being held in the hybrid mode, which will facilitate warm face-to-face interaction with shareholders, simultaneously providing an opportunity to reach out to shareholders in far-off destinations. It's not to be so. Re-emergence of COVID-19 variant has thwarted our plans, and we are forced to meet only on the video conference mode. Be that as it may, let us make the best of this opportunity. Economy, global outlook. Following more than 2 years of pandemic, spillovers from the Russian Federation's invasion of Ukraine are set to sharply hasten the deceleration of global economic activity, which is now expected to slow to 2.9% in 2022. The war in Ukraine is leading to high commodity prices, adding to supply disruptions, increasing food insecurity and poverty, exacerbating inflation, contributing to tighter financial conditions, magnifying financial vulnerability, and heightening policy uncertainty. Growth in emerging market and developing economies this year has been downgraded to 3.4%, as negative spillovers from the invasion of Ukraine more than offset any near-term boost to some commodity exporters from higher energy prices. Despite the negative shock to global activity in 2022, there is essentially no rebound projected next year. Global growth is forecast to edge up only slightly. We are still subdued 3% in 2023, as many headwinds, in particular high commodity prices and continued monetary tightening, are expected to persist. Moreover, the outlook is subject to various downside risks, including intensifying geopolitical tensions, growing stagflationary headwinds, rising financial instability, continuing supply strains, and worsening food insecurity. Indian economy. Amidst global economy's gloomy outlook, it's good comfort that our Indian economy shows great resilience and good promise. As per the World Economic Outlook, April 22, Indian GDP growth in financial year 2023 would be the highest, notably above China. Indeed, India offers foreign investors the brightest bet till financial year 2027, with its GDP growth projected to be markedly higher than every other country. The current decade doubtless belongs to India. It is fast emerging as the fastest growing economy in the world with an average of 7 to 8% in real terms per annum. India has also successfully demonstrated to the world that its management of the economy under COVID adversity is the most adroit and altruist model. While several of the advanced economies loftily advocated loosening the purse strings to bolster demand, India consciously chose the conservative and cautious path. It hence endeavored to address the supply side bottlenecks besides free food supply for elongated period to those in lower strata suffering under job losses. India further won world acclaim for its fast tracking the vaccine production from indigenous technology and vast coverage of its populace under the state-sponsored immunization program. No doubt, India has no escape from the contagion of global inflation. Nonetheless, it has not gone out of bounds. RBI expectedly tweaked the policy rates upwards in June 22 with prime focus on taming the inflation. With normal southwest monsoon outlook and improved agricultural prospects, rural consumption would benefit from higher income. Going forward, urban consumption should improve with a rebound in contact-intensive services. Investment activity would get supported by improving capacity utilization, government capex boost, and strengthening bank credit. Accounting for the negatives, RBI has retained the real GDP growth projection for 22-23 at 7.2%, that under the extant environment is creditable. Here is a review 21-22. When I addressed you last year in July 21, we were gradually coming out of COVID-19, but we still had our fears. Fear of Omicron later turned true. We in the paper industry had one more challenging year. The year started on a positive note. Good marketing conditions and demand helped the paper mills to announce price increases in April 21. However, this did not last long due to the onset of COVID second wave from May 2021 onwards and the consequent closure of schools and educational institutions. In May 21, paper mills withdrew the price increases announced in April. Market conditions showed signs of improvement from August 21 as the schools and colleges were reopened. Though the market was not buoyant, the fear of price increase in the subsequent months forced the customers to buy the material in advance. Q3 witnessed unprecedented increase in the cost of all input materials. Coal prices in particular shot up to 300% of the pre-COVID level. Q3 also witnessed sluggishness in demand, particularly for printing and writing paper, owing to various uncertainties in the market and fear of Omicron. By Q4, the market sentiments improved as the fear of Omicron started fading. Demand for printing and writing paper started improving significantly, especially from the education sector, where the schools and colleges were reopened for conducting physical classes. This helped the paper mills to announce further round of price increases to pass the cost push on account of continued rise in the cost of most key input materials, at least in part. Stakeholders are aware that over the past 2-3 years, the company had taken a lot of strategic initiatives with focus to realign the company's focus to emerging global and regional trends. Some of these initiatives are increasing the product range with capabilities to manufacture single layer and multi-layer boards in the packaging segment. Upgradation of key equipment to improve the quality of paper and efficiency of operation, besides augmenting production capacity. Increasing the proportion of green power by increased usage of biofuel in place of a costlier coal. The Project Mill Development Plan 3, MDP3, as we say, at Unit Erode, has been the key driver in accomplishing most of the above set strategic initiatives. With our vast background of experience, we could achieve the above objectives despite the intervening COVID-19 lockdowns on multiple occasions. Gradually coming out of COVID-19 lockdowns and restrictions, the company registered some key landmarks in financial year 21-22. Highest ever annual production and sales at 2.12 lakh tons and 2.20 lakh tons respectively. Highest ever total income of 1372 crores. Highest ever annual exports of 57,000 tons, representing over 25% of the volumes in the year. The annual report and audited accounts for the year under review, they have been with you for some time. I trust to have reviewed the same. By now, you are happy with the results posted by the company amidst the challenging social and economic background, both in India and globally. The company had a one-time deferred tax provision reversal of 36.4 crores in financial year 2021 due to restatement of the liability, the effective tax rate of 25.17%. Hence, the comparative profit after tax stood at rupees 103 crores in 21-22 as against rupees 100 crores in the previous year. The company had prepaid all its term loans and banks to the banks when it availed for project MDP3. It had surrendered the unavailed portion of the term loan. The company reports a nil debt position both on term loan and working capital borrowings as on March 31, 2022. The strong cash flows and balance sheet of the company has allowed the board of directors to recommend a dividend of 128% on face value. Mr. Kashi Vishwanathan, Managing Director, will make a short slide presentation to you on the company's performance and key highlights during the financial year 21-22 immediately after my address. Now coming to the Indian paper industry, the year 2022 and beyond, paper consumption in India is likely to witness 6 to 7% annual growth and will reach 30 million tons by the financial year 26-27, largely driven by emphasis on education and literacy, coupled with the growth in organized retail trade, according to the industrial body IPMA. The paper industry holds immense potential for growth in India, as per capita consumption globally is one of the lowest. Around 15% of the world population lives in India, but consumes only 5% of the total paper produced in the world. Paper industry in the country has undergone a transformation in the last few years. The industry has gone up in the sustainability curve and has become far more technologically advanced. In the last 5 to 7 years, an amount of over 25,000 crores have been invested in new, modern, efficient capacities and induction of clean and green technologies. Paper industry over the next few years is expected to be driven by the key trends of anti-plastic segments, higher packaging demand, recyclable products, hygiene products and food packaging, thermal market growth, Industry 4 initiatives, digital revolution, and emphasis on lightweight packaging. Paper industry will continue to play a major role in the world, despite the changes that have occurred because of technological advancements and the COVID. This is an industry that has thrived and will continue to do so in future. In fact, the digital revolution of recent years has led to an expansion in the pulp and paper industry. As the world continues to evolve, so will the industry. Current year. Now coming to the current year, first quarter of financial year 22-23 turned out to be positive, with continued higher pent-up demand for printing and writing grade papers. Demand for papers is expected to remain reasonably strong through the entire financial year. However, the global political situations, macroeconomic indicators, and global supply chain constraints will have a strong bearing on the healthy order inflow, both from domestic and global markets. The unaudited financial results for the first quarter of this financial year was approved and reported to the stock exchange yesterday. The same has been communicated to the shareholders last night. The results briefly are: production Q1 of 21-22 is 60,581 tons as against 52,299 in the previous year. Revenue from operations is 430.84 crores this quarter as against 217.99 last year, the corresponding quarter of last year. PBT in the Q1 of 21-22 is 80.10 crores as against 25.17 crores in the Q1 of 2021. PAT is 59.66 crores in Q1 of this year as against 18.56 in Q1 of last year. Outlook for the second quarter is also positive. I take this opportunity to welcome Sri Ganesh Bhatti, who has been appointed by the board as Director of Operations. Mr. Ganesh Bhatti is a seasoned pulp and paper professional with over 35 years of experience in various reputed paper companies of India. He had joined SPB as Vice President Technical 5 years ago and brings to bear considerable expertise in pulp and paper manufacture, including development of new products. His appointment is before the shareholders for approval at this meeting and has been tabled as item number 4 of the resolutions. Directorate. During the financial year 21-22, Tamil Nadu Industrial Investment Corporation TIIC withdrew the nomination of Mrs. Sriji Thomas Vaidyan IAS and in her place nominated Sri Hansraj Verma IAS, Chairman and Managing Director of TIIC, as its nominee director of the board on the board of the company. Sri Hansraj Verma was appointed as an additional director of the board on June 15, 21. He was later appointed by the shareholders of the company in the AGM held on July 24 as nominee director, not liable to retire by rotation. Also during the year, Tamil Nadu government withdrew the nomination of Dr. Shekhar Kumar Dheeraj, IFS, and in his place nominated Shri K. Rajkumar IFS, the Special Secretary to Government, Environment and Forest Department, as its nominee director on the board of the company. The directors place on record the valuable services rendered by Mrs. Sriji Thomas Vaidyan, AS, and Dr. Shekhar Kumar Dheeraj, IFS, during the tenure as directors of the company. Auditors. Mrs. Maharaj N.R. Suresh and Company LLP and Mrs. R. Subramaniam and Company LLP, Chartered Accountants, were the joint statutory auditors of the company for the year 21-22. The term of appointment of R. Subramaniam and Company is ending today. The Board of Directors has approved continuation of Maharaj N.R. Suresh and Company LLP as a sole statutory auditor of the company for the financial year 22-23. A proposal in this regard has been placed as subject number 5 of this AGM. Acknowledgement. My wholehearted thanks are due to all the shareholders for the sustained support to the company. I am glad the shareholder strength has now swelled to 19,000 plus. I am extremely grateful to my colleagues on the board for their guidance, support, and wise counsel, which helped us to steer the company safely during challenging times. Executives and employees of all ranks of the company have put in creditable performance, which enabled the company to turn out impressive performances. My thanks are due to them. My special word of thanks to the supporting lift irrigation scheme farmers and the participating farmers in our tree farming program. I am grateful to all our shareholders, customers, indentors, stockists, overseas agents, suppliers, and service providers for their wholehearted support and cooperation. My thanks are equally due to various departments of central and state governments and banks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patient hearing. I think what is to follow is a brief presentation by our managing director, the performance of the company during the year under review. Mr. Kashi Vishwanathan, please.
Thank you, Chairman, and good afternoon to all shareholders. I will now take you through highlights of the performance of the financial year 21-22. I will also very briefly touch the Q1 of the current financial year. Next slide, please. As Chairman mentioned in his speech, he had the highest annual production of 2.12 lakh tons for the year ending 22 March. Highest annual sales, 2.2 lakh. In fact, we sold more than what we produced. Highest total income is 1,372 crores. Highest annual exports is 1,000 tons, over 25% of our sales. Next, please. You see the production and sales figures. Production last year, same year, 1,70,138. This year it has increased by 25% to 2,12,085. In Erode, it jumped by 26% to 1,41,707 tons. Tirunelveli from 57,049 to 70,379. You see the sales figures at the bottom, you'll find as against 1,39,000 tons of last year's sales. This year we sold 2,20,344 tons. In both Erode as well as Tirunelveli, sales have increased 68% in Erode and about 48% in Tirunelveli. Please. The sales being 2,20,344, closing the higher than the previous year. The closing stock came. You will see the closing stock 35,225 tons as on March 2021, 57,010 tons in the actual 2022. Closing stock in Erode came from 35,225 to 2337. In Tirunelveli, from 7,490, we could achieve a zero stock, nil stock in our warehouse as on 31/3/2020. Revenue from operation jumped to 33% the financial year. From 781.8 crores, it jumped to 1,364.9 crores this year. EBITDA 126.9 went to 182.4. PBT has been 86.4 crores was 138.5 crores this year. PAT we see from 100.3 crores to 103.8 crores. Overall good physical performance as well as financial performance. Next slide, please. In Q1, domestic order flow was very poor due to second wave of COVID-19. This is regarding Q1 of 21-22. It looked like improving, but and then we expected a price increase in April 21, thinking that the increase in prices would stand, but it satisfied the customer. It did not seem to happen. We had to withdraw the price increase in April 21, the month of May. Early Q2, demand gradually improved in August 2021 on the reopening of educational institutions, colleges. Logistics issues, particularly want of containers, very high cost of containers, restricted import of paper into India. It helped our demand to pick up our domestic production. The adverse effect of impact lockdowns and the tight demand position seen until January 2022. Very high costs, shortage of waste paper, etc., which are really the main input for second grade, B grade mills who are based on waste paper. Because it was available in outlet very high cost, ensured strong demand of paper, being a so-called A grade mills, which are integrated like SPB. We achieved zero stock in single layer unit as of 31/3/2022. Erode, we had a stock of 2337 tons as on 31/3/2022. As you all know, government brought in a ban on single-use plastics with effect from July 1st, 2022. It's a key impact area for our industry. Plastic ban is expected to give fillip to packaging paper and paper bags. However, demand for plastic coated for cups and paper plates, which are used for food-grade items, food, tea or coffee, is expected to suffer in the short term until an alternate coating, environmentally friendly, acceptable to the government and the positioning of the board is developed. At such time, it may have some limitation. Please. One good point was last year, significant growth in exports compared to the previous year, 100% by volume, 140% by value. In fact, volume was almost the same and going up. On the other hand, the value went up much more than the volume. Container availability and freight rates are concerned, slight easing now as we see today. US market, coffee segment particularly, continues to be very stable and robust. New products in board segment well accepted in the international markets also. Please. Just take you through a few slides on companies' branded products for domestic market. These are plain paper copiers, 75 GSM used for copying. Print plus 80 GSM, 8 GSM grams per square meter. It depends on the weight of the paper per square meter. Index Plus is a plain paper copier, high economical product, very high bulk, ideal for photocopying. It is 70 GSM, 70 grams. Available in A4, A3, and folio sizes. SPB copier, plain paper copier, 70 GSM, curl-free, smooth flow in high-speed copying machines, ideal for laser and inkjet. It is also available in A4, A3, and folio sizes. SPB copier deluxe, again a plain paper copier, 70 GSM, high quality, curl-free, ideal for laser printing and inkjet printing, precision cut and packing automatic liner, packing lining. Available in different sizes of A4, A3, folio sizes. This is color print. I mean, most of the A4 copy will find to be in white. We also make copier color variants, different pink, blue, green, yellow. Very good product, good market, available in A4 size. As we discussed, we come back to paper cups. We manufacture base weight for required paper cup. It's an environmentally very friendly product. Bulk, stretch, stiffness, suitable for hot and cold beverage, food grade material. GSM ranges 130 to 300 GSM. This is SPB craft, MF craft, machine finished craft, used for bags. That's very strong single layer products, high bursting, tensile strength, clean and smooth surface. That's a great point for our company. Here, most of them bags are made from base paper, from virgin pulp. Water-free, suitable for making high quality printing bags and pouches. This is a multi-liner board, craft liner KLB, craft liner board, unbleached craft liner, high strength, suitable for all types of containers, cartons and containers. High bursting strength, high bond. I think the layers in this, if the bond is higher, the layers will not peel off. Extremely important property for multi-layer boxes. Clean surface, excellent printing surface, water-free. Comes in GSM ranges of 130 to 300 GSM. Again, this is bleached carton board. The previous one we saw was unbleached brown. This is bleached variety, white in color, excellent quality for printing, particularly by appealing printing, suitable for all kinds of cartons, high strength, high bursting, fly bond, very good surface for print result. TSM range is 130 to 300 TSM. We also make what is SPB Swara, high quality board for paper plates. Eco-friendly product, good bulk, good strength, suitable for making all kinds of paper plates. Food grade certificate available. It comes in a range of 130 to 300. Extremely good product, clean, neat, suitable for food grade. SPB Moments is basically for wedding cards. High quality boards for wedding cards, natural shade for wedding card, suitable for offset as well as gravure printing. Very good bulk, good strength, good appearance, good appeal. And it comes in different GSMs, range of 130 to 300 GSM. So it's a good moving product, good product. This is actual examination paper, ready to use paper, it's 57 GSM. High fast moving product, smooth writing surface, high bright, convenient packaging, precision cut and pack, available in plain as well as ruled form. All comes in ruled form and ready to use. We also make exercise notebook papers, notebooks. We also make our paper converted into notebooks, still in the brand name of Success. Smooth, high bright pages, good quality printing, aesthetic cover, wide range over 300 variants are there, depending upon the size, sheet, number of sheets, etc. Quality binding and finishing, exercise notebooks, alongside notebook, drawing books, etc. Particularly for school children. It's a fast-moving product. Next, please. We also make high-end script notebooks, deluxe notebooks. Success range from good success, good product, both in domestic as well as in the export market. It is doing extremely well. I now take you to the branded product of SPB for export market. You know, exports mostly to American market, where it is the measurements are in inches and feet. So their sizes are different from domestic metric system, but good high quality. They've been able to successfully supply this copy over the last 5 years now. Characterized by high brightness, 92% brightness minimum, high stiffness, totally curl-free, jam resistant. Precision cut, available different sizes on American airport, recycled, exported to North America. And we make two kinds of, one is virgin board completely. Yeah, this product, mark your flagship product, recycled paper with the 76 days. A Trinity plant can make recycled this paper pulp. These circuits and color printing, color print, as we discussed about domestic market, we do both in white as well as color. Available range of pastel dark shades, high stiffness, excellent quality, suitable for laser and inkjet printing. Precision and packed in automatic packing line, available letter size, American A4, letter size, exported to North America, and we've been greatly successful in the last 4 or 5 years now. Popular premium brands in North America. Well moving, good moving product. We also make for export premium stationery products, premium writing pads, published notebooks, index cards. Good moving, fast moving product in the export market. Premium packs available, brilliant white and multicolored, flat surface, available different sizes, including extra size, legal size, hobbies and educational purposes, exported to North America. I will briefly take you to our mill development plant 3, which our chairman touched upon during speech. The mill development plant 3 was undertaken to improve production of paper, pulp, improve the quality, and widen the product range. We originally planned for a 300 project. Because of the COVID, many changes have to be made in the project concept. The revised project cost estimate is 288 crores. Project is nearing completion. Most of the jobs have been completed in chemical recovery complex, wood pulp mill, paper machines, 1 to 5, etc., and have been completely successfully completed. Benefits are being realized, as you can see. the increased volume of production and good quality that we have been able to do, and also a wide range of products from a machine like PM. Installed capacity of the plant now stands at 2.5 lakh plants, 1.6 lakhs in Erode, 0.9 and 90,000 tons in Tirunelveli. Operations are currently running at 100% and increased capacity in Erode, very close to 100%. Tirunelveli, we are about 89 to 90%. Tirunelveli. Significant increase in cost of input materials is the key issue, key concern during this quarter. Coal from 5,200 rupees per ton in March 2021, today it is 14,200 in April 2022. Huge jump is 3 times. Wood to be 8,000 rupees per BD ton in March 21. Today it is very close to 8,800 tons of BD per ton of BD. The main raw material. Hardwood pulp imported, what used to be 500, 600, maximum $700 today. In March 2021, it jumped to $870 more in April 2020. Today it is close to $900. White SOP, short bargain paper, what was $300 went to $400 in March 21. Today it's selling at nearly $500 a ton in April 2022. These are some of the main input that work. When these prices go up, necessarily our paper cost goes up, and we need to compensate by increasing our prices. Please. To some extent, offset the coal price increase, we have stepped up our biofuel usage. Biofuel like sawdust, wood dust, chipper dust are being used now. Biofuel usage has increased from 0% in March 21 to something like 30% in June 2022 in our captive power plant at Erode. In Erode unit, more than 70% of the energy required was spent through green fuel. Nearly 50% of our chemical recovery complex, an increased biofuel using captive power plant in place of coal has increased the percentage of green fuel in Erode. Continues to be a diligent company. We are a good company, and even as of today. Reforming activity is progressing well. We are concentrating very closely and monitoring the situation. In line with the vision, remains good positive. So 17 crore seedlings were made available in the financial 21-22 subsidized rates for planting in over 30,000 acres of land. The company continues to be certified under Forest Stewardship Certificate. The FSC certification, our company assures its stakeholders that the wood and the wood pulp that we purchase are traceable, responsibly managed plantation. We don't use the forest land. A lot of conditions are there on the FSC that comply with all those conditions. Please. CSR spent during the year was 4.2 crores, both Erode and Tirunelveli together. And we have been helping the people around us, particularly the schools and colleges, laying up roads, doing building for the schools, land for schools, drinking water, taking water supply nearby villages. Company has entered a 5-year agreement, staff and workmen, which is valid until March 2024. Both Erode and Tirunelveli. Our company continues to be certified under ISO 9001:2015, which is a quality management system. We are also qualified under ISO 14000:2015 version, environment management system, EMS. We are also certified under ISO 45001:2018, which is for occupational health safety management system. DNV are our certification. Our company has won several awards earlier. In the year 2021, CII National Award for Excellence in Energy Management for the year 2021. Excellence in Energy Management for the last 4 consecutive years. National Energy Leader, second time in a row. That is, if you are excellence in energy management for 3 consecutive years, also eligible for to become energy leader. National energy leader, second time in a row. We also have got innovation award for digester modification and simple modification done in the digester area to enhance pulp production as well as improved green energy. I'm very glad to inform you that our company has also been selected as a Paper Mill of the Year award, the financial year of 1920, award of the Indian Paper Manufacturers Association, Apex Association for the large-scale paper mills in India. We also got AEE Award, Regional Corporate Energy Award 2021, the Association of Energy Engineers in the USA. So much awards I can see. CII National Energy Leader Award 2019-20, 2021. Similarly, AEE Award USA, International Award USA 2021. Unique award, first time in India, first time in Indian mill getting this award from the US. We also got 22nd National Award for Excellence in Energy Management, reduction in specific energy consumption by 14% in the last 5 years, 61% green energy in 2020-21. Fat cycle 2 target fully achieved, but we got 21,000 certificates in e-certs. GHG reduction by 12% in the last 5 years. We are pioneer in circular and cross-sector economy. Next, please. Very briefly touch upon Q1 2022-23 and update. As you can see, production last year 52,299, 60,581 tons. Sales 35,893 to 55,189. Closing stock last year, same time of 46,850 tons on stock. Today we have 6619 at the end of Q1. Revenue from operations improved from 280 crores, 430.8 crores. EBITDA compared to last year, same time Q1, 33.7 crores, we jumped to 92.3 crores. EBT, I think it's 25 crores last year, jumped to 80.1 crores. PAT, and 18.6, will increase to 59.7. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kazi Vijayanath. We should now move on to the resolutions, the business part of the AGM. As the notice is already circulated to all the members, I take the notice convening the meeting as read. Before we proceed, I am pleased to bring to your notice that as required under the Companies Act 2013, the company had provided to all the facility to cast your vote electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. The period for remote e-voting has already concluded by 5 p.m. yesterday. Members who have not cast their vote electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their vote through e-voting system provided by NSDL. Members may please note that there will be no voting by show of hands. Before we take up the 7 resolutions set forth in the notice, I will request our Secretary, Mr. Srinivas, to summarize the summary, to provide us the summary of the auditor's report.
The statutory auditor's report on standalone financial statements and the consolidated financial statements are available at page numbers 121 and 197 of the annual report respectively. Secretarial auditor report is enclosed as annexure 8 to the board's report on page number 114 of the annual report. Statutory auditors Maharaj NR Creation Company LLP and R Subramaniam and Company LLP and the secretarial auditor BK Sundaram and Associates have expressed unqualified opinion in their respective audit reports for the financial year 2021-22. There were no qualifications, observations, or adverse comments on the financial statements and matters. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We can now take up the 7 resolutions as set forth in the notices. We will open the door for any questions by members after all the resolutions are tabled. Item number 1 of the resolution is adoption of financial statements. Item number 2 is declaration of dividend. Item number 3 is reappointment of N. Gopal Ratnam, Director, retiring by rotation in this meeting as Director by a special resolution. Item number 4 of the notice is appointment of Sri Ganesh Palkrishna Patti as Director Operations, liable to retire by rotation. As I mentioned, Mr. Ganesh Patti is an accomplished pulp and paper industry professional with over 35 years of industry experience. His wide experience in pulp and paper industry, serving top companies. And the Board of Directors at their meeting held on June 13 had appointed Mr. Ganesh Patti as an additional director. His tenure as an additional director expires with this meeting. The approval of the shareholders of the company is being sought for his appointment as a whole-time director for a period of 3 years from today, designated as Director of Operations and liable to retire by rotation. Item number 5 of the notice is continuation of Mrs. Maharaj N.R. Suresh and Company as the sole statutory auditor of the company. Item number 6 is remuneration to cost auditor. Item number 7, approval of the request received from Mrs. P. Sugandhi, wife of late Sri V. Pichai, and registered nominee for the shares held by him for reclassification of 42,695 equity shares held by her husband from promoter category to non-promoter category. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement is provided in the notice circulated to members. Members who have not cast their votes through remote e-voting may cast their votes now through e-voting system provided by NSDL. The platform is already open to the shareholders to cast their vote. We have received requests from 8 shareholders to be speaker shareholders. I will now call out their names one by one. The speaker shareholders are requested to restrict their questions to the accounts for the year 21-22 and confine their observations, comments to preferably about 5 minutes. I need your cooperation. Before we go live with Y&A, here are some points to note for your convenience. Kindly turn on your video when you are projected on the broadcast screen. Kindly unmute yourself and proceed to ask the question. Please mention your name and the location from which you are calling. List. Okay. Now I request Mr. Kirti Shah, speaker shareholder number 1, to unmute himself and kindly proceed with this question.
Hello.
Mr. Shah, how are you?
हाँ बस फाइन सर, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून हो गया है अभी सर. आपका प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत ही बढ़िया था.
ओके.
कंपनी भी बहुत ही बढ़िया है. उसका वैल्यूएशन क्यों क्रिएट करना नहीं चाहते हो? वैल्यूएशन इतना सॉलिड होना चाहिए कि आज प्राइस आपका जो कंपनी है वो 100 रुपए का माल 100 रुपए में ही बिक रहा है. प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू सेम ही है, मोर और लेस. ये आपका 5 टाइम्स कम से कम होना चाहिए बुक वैल्यू.
Valuation is in your hands. Market valuation is in your hands.
चेयरमैन सर, आप अपना प्रमोटर होल्डिंग क्यों नहीं बढ़ाना चाहते हो? इतनी बढ़िया कंपनी, इतनी एसेट बेस्ड कंपनी, इतनी कैश रिच कंपनी. आपका जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है, जो पेज नंबर 206 पे आपके पास जो कैश है वो 116 करोड़ कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट एंड बैंक एंड अदर बैलेंस 214 करोड़. इतना ह्यूज बैलेंस है आपके पास. ओनली कैपिटल इज ओनली 12 करोड़. इतना ह्यूज बैलेंस होने के बाद भी आप सही तरह से उसका यूज नहीं करते हो. सही तरह से कंपनी की इमेज नहीं हो रही है सर. कंपनी की इमेज बहुत बढ़नी चाहिए. कंपनी को आपको मार्केट में जो भी एसेट अपना भी डिस्ट्रेस एसेट मिल रही है वो सब सारी लेनी चाहिए. एसेट अपनी बढ़ानी चाहिए. अपना जो लैंड इन्वेस्टमेंट है, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्रॉपर्टी, वो बहुत ही कम है, ओनली 1 करोड़ का है. जब भी प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट है 800 करोड़ का है. तो उसके लिए भी जरा सोचने की जरूरत है कि आप सही तरह से उसका जो पैसा है उसका यूज हो सही तरह का. चेयरमैन सर, अभी आपने जो इन्वेस्टमेंट किया हुआ है वो कंपनी में, तो उसकी अपने इतना जो लास्ट ईयर अपना था करीब 23 करोड़, अभी 42 करोड़ आपने दिखाया है हाई एनर्जी में. तो उसकी वजह क्या है और उससे अपने कैसे अपना एसोसिएशन है वो थोड़ा हाईलाइट कीजिए. और मार्केट में भी बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी है इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए, तो उसके लिए भी अदर कंपनी में भी इन्वेस्टमेंट का सोचना चाहिए. जो इतना ह्यूज अपना बैलेंस है, we have a huge money, we have to invest in a such a manner कि other income is also a extraordinary income is also a very very good. So you have to see on that ground also. Chairman sir, आपने you have given a dividend of 125%, or earlier you are giving a 200% dividend. In a such a COVID time, such a high huge cash balance, you have to give the shareholder to make a higher dividend. There are a clause that promoter can take small less dividend and you can distribute in the public high dividend also. There is a new clause. This SEBI has given a special permission. You have to think, board has to think about it. Chairman sir, what are the returns on investment our 117 crore investment? How much return we are getting every year? उसका भी आप थोड़ा yield समझाइए. चेयरमैन सर, अभी जो एक्सपांशन है, एक्सपांशन का जो रिजल्ट कब तक आएगा, नेक्स्ट 2 ईयर कैसा रहेगा, कैपेसिटी यूजेशन कैसा रहेगा, वो थोड़ा हाईलाइट करेगा ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. और मैंने आपको ईमेल किया हुआ है, तो ईमेल का भी आप पूरा रिप्लाई करेंगे. और आपका सेक्रेटरियल टीम को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि सेक्रेटरियल टीम ने आपका जो भी है वो फॉलोअप काफी अच्छा किया हुआ है. वो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है शेयर होल्डर के साथ में. और ईमेल का भी पूरा रिप्लाई देंगे आप, उसके लिए आपको मैं विनती करता हूं. और ये आपने जो ब्लैंक पेज रखा है उसमें आप फोटोग्राफ छापिए सर. एनुअल रिपोर्ट में आपका ब्लैंक पेज है, फर्स्ट पेज ब्लैंक है, लास्ट पेज ब्लैंक है, इनर साइड लास्ट पेज ब्लैंक है. तो उसके लिए भी आपको फोटोग्राफ्स आप देखिए, प्लांट का फोटोग्राफ या प्रोडक्ट का फोटोग्राफ तो भी अच्छा रहेगा. या एक्सपोर्टिंग कंट्रीज का भी फोटोग्राफ दीजिए तो अच्छा रहेगा. विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. I think you have asked, as you did in Ponni Sugars, you have asked some 100 questions in 5 minutes. I will answer them all. But just to give you some idea, I think last year our production was better, our sales was better. That's why our profit was better. I think our CSR spend, details I have given you in page 107 to 111. And I think our EPS now as on 31/3 is about 17.12 per share. And our book value is about 200 rupees. Our PE ratio stood at 10.2 times. The domestic institutional investor about whom you are worried, he is nothing but our Tamil Nadu Industrial Investment Corporation Limited. This is a company which really helped us to set up this project originally 60 years ago. And they have remained one of the major shareholders for the last 60 years. And they will continue to do so as long as we do well. Therefore, have no worry about them. And I think details of directors and KMP, everything I have given in page 1. I think originally we availed about 11.2 crores out of the sanctioned 82.5 crores for the project MDP3. But then halfway through, we decided that we will fund it with our own funds. Therefore, we have returned this 11.2 crores also. As of 31/3, I think, therefore, we are debt free, both for long term as well as working capital. We continue to be debt free for some time. And then this HEB you mentioned, high energy batteries, is an associate company of ourselves. You can also consider that company for investment. It's a very small specialized country for making batteries for defense services. And I think it's at hardly it's 10 lakh, 10 rupee share is today selling at more than close to 2,000 rupees or so. It's such an invaluable company. It's a great R&D company for the government of India. It has won R&D award at the national level 2 times.
Very good, sir.
Okay. And then
yes,
you are always
very good.
You are always free to welcome our secretariat, Mr. Srinivas. He is here, and then he will do. And I think the benefit of expansion of our MDP3, I have already told you, our production will go up, our production of pulp will go up. I think you will see some of these benefits in this year itself. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shah.
Okay.
Thank you. I hope I have answered all.
I visit Chennai. I will take appointment and I will visit. I already written. Okay, kindly give me appointment also.
No appointment. I am here most of the times here. Okay.
I am from Mumbai.
You are Mumbai is not very far off. You take a flight to Coimbatore.
I will come. There is no issue. I will come. There is no issue.
No. You just come to Coimbatore. From there we can.
Yeah.
Our plant is.
Okay, sir.
Our plant. Thank you.
Okay.
Now I think I will move on to second number speaker shareholder number 2, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf from Calcutta. Mr. Saraf, are you there on the line? Oh, good morning. Are you better now, Saraf?
Now I am feeling better and now in good position. And
Okay.
your wishes may help me to recover at earliest.
You are
Sir,
supposed to recover your wife. So, Saraf, you are supposed to recover. You are supposed to help your wife. She was unwell.
No, now tomorrow my son will come from Bangalore to attend him because on the Monday or Tuesday I take to his hospital to remove some orifice instrument which fitted on his shoulder and this side. So they are on the over the shoulder. They created trouble because for the day they are not wearing clothes properly, and one side always sleep at the time of sleeping. One side very difficult to. So I hope in the Monday, Tuesday, they will be admitted in the hospital, and doctor will remove these instruments from the. Sir, you asked how. Sir, always your good wishes with us, sir, and always I try to attend your meeting in any trouble. So this year you call all meeting in the earliest. Last year in the August there was meeting, and so you asked how many meetings you attend. I assured the today. So this is 126 meeting of this year, sir.
For this year.
Last 126 meeting. This is the 126 meeting yours. And last year I totally attended 390 meetings.
By the season is over, you would have attended 150 meetings, I think, no?
126. This is 126.
Okay, good.
And last year I attended total 390 meetings.
How much?
Last year.
390.
Yes, sir. Sir, first I will thank you for your nice quarterly results.
Yeah.
You present very nice quarterly results. So you and your team is thankful for me. I am giving thanks because you know my English is weak, so you take the matter is easy. And I want to speak with English because one day you told English is proper for you, Hindi is not proper for you. So I will try to speak it right.
Your English is good. Please continue in English.
So I thank you and your team and all employees for nice quarterly result and 225% growth is nice, sir.
Okay.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Your presentation, I see very nice presentation you given. But sir, one thing to here, in last 3 years, margin of profit down by 7% to 7%. So what are the reasons, sir? Last 3 years continuously downing the margin, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, also, sir, I request to kindly increase the female employees.
Okay.
1,307 employees, you have only 22 female employees at the 31st.
Okay.
So, sir, I want to empower female because you know very well, female are working very nice, and now the Indian president became a female, and also our prime minister is female, and many females win the gold medal for India, and also very nice work done by for the Indian to enhance Indian name in the world market.
Okay.
I hope you will help them to show their abilities, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I thank for your nice 125% dividend. Is very nice. To the price is very good. 216 price is a nice price, sir. Because it is near about the highest price of the 52 weeks, and I think all-time high price because I said split in 5, sir. So if I calculated, there is more than 1,000 price of the 10 Sir, there are so many disputed cases are pending from 2002 custom duty, others and marriage. So I want to request you, sir, please clean the book to settle out of court is possible. And because the list of 10 to 15 cases disputed, not so very good under your leadership, sir. Sir, one thing I also want to say, sir, one place you mentioned unpaid dividend. Sir, is this want to be replaced by unpaid? Because you paid the dividend, I not claim. This is called, if it's so unpaid, it means company unable to pay the dividend.
Thank
So
you, thank you,
next
thank
time
you.
Next
I
time you
understand.
this is correct. Sir, last year the other expenses is increased due to fuel charges. So please, I ask you to control this for next current year, sir. Sir, your export is very good, sir. And for the export, you received many awards for home, domestic, and very much for environment and export benefit region, sir. So I thank to you and all your staff and workers and team for their hard work. We received so many awards for the and enhance our company name in the market, sir. 1 minute, sir. Also, I take 2 to 3 minutes because this is last meeting with you. Next time I meet, if government permission for BC the next year. Other not permission, this is, I think this is last meeting with you. It is not possible to go to Coimbatore or other place to attend the meeting from Calcutta, sir. Sir, I want, sir, I want to know, are our employees are covered in health insurance, accident insurance, and monetary benefit, paternity benefit, daycare? They are all covered or not? If not, then we provide this facility
Insurance.
and you also got the single use plastic stop. I thank for this decision, sir. And sir, also rainwater harvesting and inventory use 70% sources for energy. So I thanks to you and your team for this result, sir. Sir, lastly, I request you, last but one, I request you to sir next year if physical meeting held. I think it is not possible to go to camp to attend the meeting. So I request you change your meeting system to dual system. You hold physical meeting and 10 to 15 for video conference meeting. Because Kitty are from Bombay attend, I am from Kolkata attend, some people can be attend from Chennai, sir. This is possible if you try. Government has no ban on this. Sir, lastly, I request you, I send a letter to your sister concern high energy, sir. They not sent any dividend to last year in my all accounts. I have 7 to 8 accounts, sir. This is not related to this company, sir, but related to your under leadership. And their region, so that we are sent, but not so. When this was credited in my account, as per rules, sir, if dividend I claim, my state go to IPF. So this is by concern by Modi Sarkar. This is very tension to us. When it is, I thank the income tax department. They show that you received the dividend from high energy, but not credited in my account. So, sir, please instruct your high energy department to tax when credit in my account and when in full detail to sir. With I wish good wishes for you and your family and all directors, sir, and hope you will be considered for video come physical meeting for next year, sir, and hope if not possible, then I try to visit Coimbatore to meet you in the physical when I go to Bangalore. And one friend my in the Salem, you know the Mani Sundram, also my friend in Chennai, he is Abhishek, you know very well.
Okay.
We are all are good friends, sir. Thank you, sir, for your nice and wish for my health, and wish your wish for my family and all the directors, Srinivasan and others, as I wish the good health to meet next year. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If any mistake, in my English, please forget. Yeah.
Briefly, I would say that we are trying to employ as many female employees as possible because we are a continuous industry and the work in the day, night and all that. A lot of females we are not able to immediately employ. But I take your suggestion and then see how to improve that number. I will also try to see how to clean this lot of disputes in the we have a contingent liability that I have provided. How to see how to clean up and then how to see through out of court settlements. And then I also take your point regarding unclaimed dividend, not unpaid dividend. And I think all employees are covered under insurance. There's no doubt about it. We have insurance for all the employees. And as far as this next meeting is concerned, I will try to see whether it is technically possible. I will have it as a hybrid meeting, a dual meeting, both physical as well as some. I will give opportunity for people like you to participate also. Okay, that is what I will try next year.
I wish you will be succeed to done dual meeting. If you think all is possible, as like all company are giving good results, sir. And so labor mission now allow to human worker to do in night and all shift, sir. So you consider that also. Thank you, sir.
I will also talk to high energy batteries. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your participation.
My good wishes to you, sir.
Thank you. Then we move on to third shareholder, Mr. Pavan Nahar. Nahar, are you able to hear us?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. MD. Thank you to Mr. CFO. And thank you to all the gentlemen here for this event. I have 4 broad points, sir. First, I want to congratulate you and the management team and particularly the finance team. I mean, your results came yesterday. Pony Sugar came on the 19th. So basically, within 3 weeks, you are beginning to deliver your results. And in Bombay and amongst investors, there is this perception, feeling, and rightly so, that companies that actually care about minority shareholders, generally speaking, and have a good MIS and are proactive tend to report early. I mean, so for example, I'm sure you know that Infosys, TCS, Reliance, HDFC Bank, DMart, all of them come on the first 3 weeks. So I really want to thank the finance team and I hope you will continue to do this. So that is congratulations. Likewise, I'd also like to congratulate the project management team for the timely completion and that too during COVID and broadly within the budgeted costs. So really again hats off for that. Now second, pardon me. So this was just first was a congratulatory point. Second was pardon me for asking this, but if you could share some light about the management succession plan and how do you deal with the cross holdings? Nothing wrong about it, but how do you deal with it? Like, do you plan to untangle it? Do you plan to do a merger, or it just remains like this? If you could answer that. The third point would be your point, and we are all struggling across industries. If this profit is sustainable, the spread is sustainable, right? Or in your opinion, like what is the kind of a payback you would expect from any new project going ahead? So here in the third, I'm actually asking you 2 points: sustainability of the current spreads, and whenever you take up a project, generally what kind of a payback you look at. And fourth is, I mean, I'm sure somebody else too will ask this: how do you see your business mix changing in a couple of years? Like everybody would want to hear if it is going to be more packaging, so something around those future plans as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Nahar. And I think I've taken down your points, and then I will get back to you after I finish with other speakers as well, and then answer your points today itself. Okay, thank you. Therefore, please be on the line.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Bachatia, shareholder number 4. Vaibhav.
Yeah. Hi, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm all well, sir. How are you?
Fine, sir.
I hope you board members, senior management of the team, all employees are safe.
Yeah.
The times continues to be tough. COVID is again increasing. So I wish good health to all of you. I will not take much of time. I think I have already submitted my list of questions you must have with you.
Yes.
Do you have them in front of you right now?
Not immediately, but I think I will. Another 3 more shareholders are there. I will see and then I will hear them and then I will answer you today in this meeting. If you can hold on for another 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, I will hold that, but I just wanted to make sure that you have the questions.
I have the questions and I will, to the best of my ability, I will respond today itself in this meeting.
Sure. That would be great, sir, if you can respond point by point. That's it from my side. I will not take much of time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Then we have Mr. Govidlal Gilada.
Yeah, good afternoon, board members. This is the first AGM I am attending. I am new shareholder to the company. Thanks for very good numbers for first quarter, sir. Good presentation. See, sir, I have got few questions. We have got sufficient cash. It is almost 330 crores cash and some 100 crores investments are there, almost 400 crores. Plus, we are going to generate very good cash flow this year going forward also. Industry is going good. So what's your plan, sir? How you will reward the shareholder about this cash by way of some buyback or extra dividend or some capex? What's your plan, sir? Because already we are debt free and so much cash we are having. So this is one thing. Second thing, produced 60,000 and sold some 55,000. Why 5,000 inventory we have built up, sir? The market good demand scenario is there in domestic and export also. Why this we are not able to sell total 60,000? That is one thing. And third thing is that why we are not conducting con calls, sir? Every companies, they are small companies, 400, 500 crores market cap also. Now our market cap is touching 1,400 crores. So why we should not conduct quarterly con call post result? So that will be helpful, sir, to every quarter to get clarification on company prospects, any doubts, all that. Otherwise, we have to wait one whole year to interact with you. And to brand build our company, I request, sir, appoint some IR. It will be better. So as you know, some first shareholder also told that intrinsic value of our company is very much more than what it is today. So it is we should put efforts to increase our value of the company, sir. So we should bring to actual value. It is very undervalued. Oh, and what is our view, sir, regarding paper scenario, demand scenario going forward about paper and pulp? So any price increase we have taken in July, that I want to understand, sir, and we hope these prices will sustain for next some 2-3 quarters, or you see that they can fall, seeing demand scenario current. And this MDP third upgradation, all the investment we have made. So in this first quarter, total benefit has come, or still some extra benefit we can hope to get in second quarter, sir? Yeah. So some other our peers, sir, JK Paper, all they are utilizing capacity more than 100%, 107, 108, 110%. So one plant we have utilized 100 and another 90. So demand scenario, all that, in that case, can we also utilize more than 100%, sir, or some constraints, sir? So one more important thing I want to understand is, sir, how much our raw material is captive, sir? It is almost 100% or some raw material, pulp or some fiber we are procuring from outside, or we are totally 100% captive? And what is the tax rate will be for full year, sir?
What is the?
We can consider bonus also, sir. We have got good book value, all that, and reserves. So these are my questions, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I think.
The best for doing.
Thank you. You have asked some 20-25 questions in 2 minutes. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, today. Next speaker is Mr. Ramasundaram. Ramasundaram, are you there on the line? No?
Not joined.
Okay. Then we go to Mr. Saket Kapoor. Mr. Saket.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar. Where are you calling me from?
Sir, I'm from Kolkata.
Kolkata, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity, sir, firstly. And sir, I will try not to repeat the points being spoken by earlier speaker Nahar Saab and also the gentleman who spoke just earlier to me. They have covered almost all the operational parameters and what investors generally look as industry and also for a company specific. So we, sir, firstly, as the earlier speaker, the learned speaker informed about the merit of holding regular con calls. Sir, this is the first time I think so that your chairman's statement has been accompanied by the results, which we requested last AGM. So I'm really grateful that that was considered into and now has been implemented. So it makes a lot of sense to have the results along with your statement with that have the volume data and a brief about the quarter. So, but I also second his point that conference call and investor presentation should be the order of the day going forward. That will create more awareness among your existing investors and also will provide an opportunity for other analysts and the investing community to participate in the growth story. This is one of the pioneer companies, sir. And the way you people conduct AGM is an example of how deliberate, how things can be deliberated at the management's end. So kudos to you, sir, to the team for putting up. It's also please accept the condolence from my side also from Mr. Pichai, the man who really used to answer us investors earlier. I think so. I interacted with him some year ago, and even last year at the time of AGM, he did call me up. So it's really, but he was actually not in good health for a very prolonged time. So may whatever God wish was there in any way. Sir. Coming to the point now to the understanding of our results and also firstly about the raw material part. If you could give us some more understanding how the integration currently works with the mill development plant 3 commercialized, what is our raw material security currently and how much are we dependent upon the external sources? Even, sir, I think so other raw material other than the coal, I think so the chemical prices have also gone up. So do we have any long-term arrangement in terms of this caustic soda requirement? I think so, if I'm not wrong, this is one of our chemical that is required for paper manufacturing, caustic soda flakes or dye, like as may be the case. Sir, looking at your numbers, even for this quarter, when we compare your numbers from quarter 4 of the last financial year with quarter 1, even though there has been an escalation on cost front on all sides, the numbers looks better. So have the realizations gone up considerably because the margins are higher than quarter 4 even on a lower revenue. So if you could explain that dynamics to us, because all the cost components, whether it is fuel, whether it is the other expenses, all have gone up, even in proportionate to what the sales number were for the quarter 4. So if you could explain on the simple, actually, sir, these parameters can be discussed in length when we come up in a con call. Since this is only opportunity for us to interact with you. However, our CFO has also told me that you send me the questions, I will be answering them. But one-on-one interaction gives a proper platform not only for investors to have point, but also get point from other people. See, I would have never heard Mr. Nahar. I would have never heard the earlier gentleman, forgetting his name. So we will also be getting knowledge about other people also, sir. So please look into the merit of it and try for an experiment. What kind of response you generally get, sir. Sir, I'll just take another 2-3 minutes. Sir, when you spoke about this chairman's part of it in your statement, I think so. The investor presentation can be uploaded. The 3-4 pages PPT can also be uploaded in the same press release, so that the other aspects are also done away with one go. And also, sir, just that will suffice everything, sir. About the inventory part, as earlier also the speaker has mentioned, sir, if you could explain to us how the dynamics have changed, both this post-COVID part and also for paper industry in particular, about this import. How are import playing out for the sectors in which we dominate? Because the paper, because paper as a segment is also very huge. So where we are operating, how does the import dynamics place for us? How are the global capacities outage are helping us going forward? As earlier speaker has told that ki ye sustainable kitna hai? How sustainable are these numbers? However, we are doing the best, sir. It is very much seen in your numbers. Just a second, sir. I have about the succession planning also, sir. I also second the view of the speaker that and we know that the management must be having something on the background. Sir, on the export part, sir, this one was outlined by you not only in the Q1 number, but the MD also spoke about the export. So what opportunities now the export opens up? And out of the total volume, I think so, last time it was 20%, something, if I'm correct me for the figure. Where can we scale it up? Depending upon the product mix also, what we can actually export, which he's already mentioned in the presentation. So if you could give us some that graph, what are we targeting for 5 years from now, export mix of the total production, kitna ho sakta hai, ya aap kya reach karna cha rahe hain over a period of time? And also, sir, going further, what kind of capex or value augmentation, value added product augmentations are we looking into? If you could give some more color. And sir, you mentioned about this in the presentation. MD sir mentioned that this percentage of plastic cup sales, the cups which are covered with outer layer with plastic, will get affected because of the plastic ban. So what percentage of our sales are there? Is it meaningful for us in terms of the total sales number, or ya to mere number hai, wo chal jayega? Sir, you mentioned about this high energy price part also, high energy price shares, where it is I think an associate company for CSSI paper. But post February, the stock prices have corrected by half. So, sir, since we are the promoter, kya reason hua, sir, that the stock has corrected? Any corporate benefit has gone, or why the stock has fallen from 2,900 to 1,300? Is it the pure market? Yes, sir. If it is pure market understanding the dynamics, then as you told, it's a good opportunity for new investors. Since I am not a shareholder, and since I got the message from the horse mouth, मैंने आपसे ही मुझे सुनने में मिला कि it's a good proposition to invest. I will dwell greater into the story, come up with the more understanding of the company. So if you could just second us with the view that there is no change in the business dynamic for the company, and it is just the market dynamics that have played. वो आप अगर आप उसको भी थोड़ा समझाएं तो हमारे लिए उसमें भी invest करना एक अच्छा opportunity बन सकती है. Other than that, sir, this is a superb way of conducting a.
Thank you. I think we lost connection with, but I think he has completed his observations. I think Mr. Saket Kapoor. Then we go to the shareholder number 8, Manisundaram. Manisundaram, are you there on the line? Manisundaram, கொஞ்சம் unmute பண்ணுங்க. நீங்க பேசுறது காதுல விழல.
Sorry, sir. Sir, good morning. I am shareholder Manisundaram. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Board of Director, Chairman, Company Secretary, and the fellow shareholders. In behalf of 62nd Annual General Body of the CSSI Paper and Boards Limited. First of all, I welcome and I'm very happy to express my feeling, because due to COVID period also we have done production and management the paper mill very well, have a special capacity to extract the work from the labor with love and affection. First of all, page number 5, 10-year financial highlights at a glance. All of them are very fantastic, very good results. I have printed in the page number 5. And dividend before 10 years, 2012 and 13. This year, 2021 and 22, 125%, 125. This is 3 times before 10 years you have declared. Very happy, sir. And the total income also raised from last year more than 500 crores. EBITDA also revised. Very happy, sir. And we express EPS, earning per share, 17.12. Book value also 200. But every year you are given very good results and also given very best results in the paper industry. And also we have done whistleblower policy is very good. And total expenditure last year 2021 801 crores. This year 1,370 crores. What is the reason has been raised? Please explain, sir. Then page number 129. 9 dues we have with government departments, excise, customs, and also other departments also, sale tax. You can take necessary steps to solve the dispute. Otherwise, company have to pay or face the loss. Please have a settlement with the government department, duty and value added tax, customs duty, VAT also. Then page number 174, 31, finished goods stock in trade. Last year comparing 3 times. Very happy, sir. What is the future plan? Any expansion or installing new plan to be installed which other states also? Have you have any plan, sir? And also we have declared this is 62nd year annual general body meeting. Very happy to attend the meeting by video conference. But I have feeling not able to see physically in plant premises, Pallipalayam. And also in future, you can conduct AGM in next year by God grace and also government guidance. Be happy to see our management director and also I want to visit Pallipalayam E-Road plant and also Tirunelveli plant. Please make arrangements. I'll try to proper request. Okay. Split of share from RS2 to 1, 2019. What is the reason? And also physical AGM expenses and what is the VC, video conference meeting expenses? And what is the VC meeting? What is the market share of our products? Which is main products as value of sale? Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. We see in next year physically in E-Road plant, Shashashahi Paper and Boards Auditorium. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think that completes the list of shareholders who had intimated of their desire to speak. Now I would like to answer some of the queries raised by our earlier speakers. So Vaibhav Bajatia had sent me a list of queries even earlier. I would take it up first. He has observed that company has seen sharp growth in exports. The exports are substantially higher, even as export to pre-COVID level. Can you please explain the tailwinds? Actually, we have always been putting our 10 to 15 to 20% of our products in the export market as a policy and as a strategy for a long time. In fact, we were one of the earliest to export paper from India. Last year, I think we saw a good opportunity. The demand was better. Realizations were also quite good when compared with our domestic market. Therefore, we really could do something like about 25% of our production in the export market. Our export will always depend on our domestic scenario, how the market is, how the realizations are when compared with our export market. Therefore, this year, I think it's at the moment it's a bit scaled down, and maybe I think we also have a fairly good demand from the domestic market, which we would like to serve. And then we will alter and then enhance our exports as the year goes by, depending on the demand in the local market as well as the relative realizations. Second question is asked is, Indonesia has a policy of providing coal to domestic industry at discounted prices. The gap between prices of imported coal in India with the price of domestic coal in Indonesia has increased drastically over the last 1 year. This enables Indonesian paper mills to have significantly lower power cost. Hence, would you expect paper imports from Indonesia to increase significantly? Mr. Bajati, I think Indonesia has a significant presence in the pulp market. Indonesia is, in fact, huge plantations have been developed over a period of time and is home to some of the world-class, world-sized pulp mills in Indonesia. And they are big and very active exporters of pulp. At the moment, they continue to be strong in their export market of pulp, which is the traditional strength rather than paper. In India, we do see some imports from Indonesia, especially in the cut size, that is the copier grades. But at the moment, we are not seeing any huge volumes of paper being coming to India, but we will continue to see a lot of pulp coming to India. Therefore, at the moment, that paper doesn't seem to be a big competition to us. Number 3 is, can you please provide your estimate of capacity addition expected in domestic P&W? Sir, pulp and paper, there are 2 different types. One is an integrated, where you start from wood, you make your pulp, and then you make your papers. It is the most difficult. That is what we do in Erode. It was more difficult because getting our environment clearance is an issue. And you have to have wood. That means about 3-4 years prior to your paper coming up, you would have to be ready with some plantation of wood and then be ready before. But I don't see at the moment any greenfield mill in PM and pulp and paper going along from the integrated route. The other route is what the B-grade mills do. They have buy some base paper and then they do, and then they make some paper out of it. That volume may continue, but I don't see any significant increase in P&W segment. Also, there is a view that, especially what we all observed during the Corona times, the lockdowns, the work from home, all these had somewhat brought down the demand for P&W, for printing and writing paper considerably. In fact, everybody, including me, have worked on and then have built some capacity for packaging grades only to insulate ourselves from such contingencies of demand for P&W going down. So personally, I don't think that the printing and writing paper is going to so drastically exit Indian market, because I think our dynamics is different, our population growth is different, our education needs are different, our literacy rates are different, and But capita consumption is also at the moment very low. But I don't see any significant increase in the P&W segment as of now, and people are more keen to create capacities in packaging grades. What are the capex plans of the company post MDP3? Should we expect more investments towards packaging grade? Capex plans are under discussions internally, and it has not yet been finalized, but certainly we are looking for some value addition products at Europe and some volume addition products in Tirunelveli. Certainly we will be addressing the need to step up our presence in packaging sector. This will probably we will address it at the Tirunelveli plant. You will get to know as soon as we have made up our mind as to which way we should go. But there will be certainly capex plans, addition of capacities, addition of products, adding some additional values also. Due to rise in global gas and coal prices, how do you expect relative competitiveness of Indian paper mills to evolve in future? Given the fact that energy cost increase in Europe might be far higher than in India, are you seeing European paper mills turning uncompetitive and shutting operations? No, sir. European mills are very strong. They have an extremely strong raw material base in terms of softwoods, and they are significantly well provided for in their recovery rates from waste paper. Meaning, waste paper recovery rate is very high in Europe. These are their strengths. Over the last period of years, I think they have been reducing their presence in the printing and trading market, but they continue to be very strong in the packaging grades, and I think they will play a very significant role in the future as well. Sure, the energy costs are high. I suppose that energy costs are not going to stay at this high level forever. And when their energy costs are high, relatively energy costs in Asia is also going to be high. Therefore, all for the matter, North America is also going to be high. Considering all this, Europe will hold its own in terms of its presence and its contribution to the paper industry in the world. What is your assessment of relative competitiveness of various raw material used in paper production as of today? Based on total variable cost per ton of paper, including chemical cost, which would be cheapest as of now out of waste paper, domestic wood? You know, when you include waste papers also in this list, you are talking about papers of pulp of different qualities. Certainly, I think as of now, domestic wood, chemical pulp made from domestic wood will be the cheapest. Closely, I think, along with the chemical pulp made from agro residues like bagasse. Of course, it depends on what rate you buy this agro residue. But then these are the two pulps which will be the lowest cost among the various pulps. Imported pulp is, especially wood pulp, is going to be very expensive. It has always stayed expensive, and then even more so in the recent past. And the Indian rupees weakness also doesn't help in this area. Waste paper, yes, you can produce some pulp from waste paper, but the application of this waste paper pulp will be very different from the chemical pulp that we are talking about. I think I have covered this the question that you have raised, Mr. Bhajatia, and if you have any other queries, you may like to address us. We'll be very happy to furnish the clarifications. Thank you. Mr. Power Nahar, he of course thanks for his compliments. Then he wanted to know mainly management succession plan. Yes, sir, we have our own succession plan, and then you will get to see them as we go by in this coming year. You already see a new induction into our board. Therefore, similar things will happen also probably next year. So I think we have a succession plan in mind, and we are implementing them in stages. Is this profit expand spread sustainable? A difficult question to immediately answer, Mr. Nahar, because I think there are a lot of imponderables. People are talking about stagflation. People are talking about commodity prices continuing to remain high. People are talking about consequent drop in consumption levels. Therefore, I do expect that this spread may be sustainable for a limited period of time, but not for long, I think. At least that's my view. Business landscape over 2 years, I think a company like us, I think we are well entrenched in both printing and trading paper segment. We are also getting our volumes in packaging segment. Therefore, I expect that our company will continue to do well in the next 2 years. We are also thinking in terms of how to expand our capacity, and I think our future I expect will be very positive. Then new projects. New projects are the paper industry is a capital intensive industry. It is something that if you are getting a payback of say 4 years, I think it's a good project. 5 years is also a good project. Therefore, it is not like you will get a payback in 1 year or 2 years in pulp and paper industry. Then we move on to Mr. Gada. He is talking about you seem to have cash. And what is the plan for deployment? Deployment can be, is mostly capex. And if appropriate time, if it is required, then we can also do buyback of shares. And certainly our dividend payout has been fairly good. And we have been, the last 3-4 years, we have been stepped up our demand, our dividend declaration fairly high. We talked about 200%, we have talked about 150, we talked about 125. Therefore, we will be now continuing in this range. But I think most of our cash will be used for capex. Inventory increase in Q1. In Q1,
for 3,000 tons increase from March.
March registered
3,000 tons. Because Tirunelveli at zero inventory.
This is only mostly logistics issues. Almost all these orders are covered by order all these inventory is covered by orders, and we have some difficulty in shipment. We have some difficulty in getting containers. We have some difficulty in getting shipping volumes. That is the reason why it is accumulated. I think I expect all these will be cleared in the next 1 or 2 months. Have no worry. How to improve value of the company? Fair price. I can improve my operations. I can improve my visibility. I can reach you. But I think improving the value in the market is in the hands of people like you, I think, Gada. Views on pulp and paper and the pulp scenario. Paper has been growing for the last 40 years every year. Sometimes accelerated growth, sometimes we have muted growth. But it has been growing. There is a popular perception that because of this digitalization and all that, paper will disappear. No. Paper has got a very strong future. More so in a country like India where the per capita is hardly about 15 kgs or so. The world average is about 55 kgs. Therefore, I think there is enough scope for both printing and writing varieties as well as for packaging grades. India will continue to do reasonably well. Any well-managed company with a good product mix will certainly be able to deliver goods. Price in July, yes, there was a price increase in July. Marginally, I think, I don't know about August, but there was a price increase in Dwelling Singlada. And then we have questions. Okay. Some marginal benefits can come about from MDB3 in Q2 also. Volumes you can perhaps increase. Some costs perhaps can come down. Capacity lower at the end. Tirunelveli. Tirunelveli is a like Erode is a very standalone mill, meaning it depends on various pulps to come from outside, including pulp from our unit Erode. It's based on some base paper, and in the recent past, I think there has been some disturbance in the logistics of imports. Containers were not available, ships were not available, imported pulps are also not available. Therefore, this is the reason why it's operating at 90%. Certainly, the capacity can be 100% or more over a period of time. Therefore, I think that is what we will try to achieve. How much pulp is captive? In Erode, it is about nearly 100% is captive. We don't require much of a imported pulp. So we may require some base paper to augment some of our, or to supplement some of our furnished mix. As far as the story at the Tirunelveli unit is different. Tirunelveli unit is nearly 40 or 50% has to come from either imported pulp or imported base paper. That's how it has been structured right from the beginning. Estimate for
full year.
This year. As I told you, I think I am not very sure about the what is going to happen in the next 4 months, 5 months, and people are talking about disruptions. People are talking about stagflation. People are talking about commodity prices crashing. People are talking about oil prices crashing. All this is happening at the. I expect, barring very, very strange things happening, we'll continue to produce, and we have got some good results. At least our attempt and our efforts will be to repeat this performance in the other 3 quarters as well. Mr. Kapoor, very tough con call. Sir, we will certainly think about it, and then we will see how to respond to you. We want to hear more understanding on the raw material security. As far as our Erode unit is concerned, I think we depend nearly about 80% for wood as a raw material. Another about 15-20% as put in bagasse and some base paper. Our wood comes from our own mill. Our mill helps a lot of farmers to grow trees in their marginal lands. These are small farmers holding about 2 acres of land, 3 acres of land. We have a tree planting program where we develop some clones for, say, eucalyptus or a castellina wood. And we also have what you call as naked, bare-rooted seedlings. And then they actually buy it from us at a very reduced rate, and then they plant. And they grow trees, which is about this. There are 2 types of trees, as I told you. Eucalyptus takes about 4 to 5 years, and castellina takes about 3 to 4 years to grow to sufficient height and girth for the paper industry to take use of it. These marginal farmers are free to sell to anybody, including SPB. Then we buy from people like this at the market rate. But the most significant part is what we call as we are wood positive, which means that we help farmers to grow more wood than what the wood that we buy from them. We are always positive. Therefore, we are reasonably well secured with respect to availability of wood in Tamil Nadu. Then we do have some cyclones, we do have some monsoons. All this really disrupts some availability of wood and prices go up. These things happen. But by and large, volumes have been available to us from Tamil Nadu and nearby states itself. And as far as coal is concerned, for the last 20-25 years, we have been importing coal. 100% of our coal from Indonesia. But then, the last year and so, the prices have shot up 3 times. Therefore, with a view to curtail our, we have introduced a lot of biofuel firing in our boilers along with coal. So far in stages, we have reduced about 1/3 our requirement of coal by 1/3. We are now dependent only on 2/3. Further work will be done with a view to step up this biofuel, and hopefully we will be able to reach some 40%, from 40% to 50%. But then this coal, necessarily we have to depend on some overseas imports. Because we are far away from coal fields and we don't have a linkage with any mine or any, we also don't have a linkage for railways. Under these circumstances, we find that the quality of coal from outside, if the prices are high, the quality is also good what we import. Therefore, we will continue to do so. We have good sources for chemicals and we don't expect any problem in its availability or security of availability. And you said long-term arrangements of caustic soda. We entered into probably 3 months contracts or 6 months contracts, not anything more than that, because the prices do fluctuate and they also come down. Therefore, a lot of advantages are there in having 3 months and 6 months contracts. Therefore, I don't think we don't even enter into annual contracts for most of these chemicals. Q4 to Q1, better profits. Yes, I think mainly market has also given us some better prices, but production has also improved. That's why our Q1 prices are, Q1 is results are better. Exports. What are the other opportunities to scale up? Last year we did some 25%, which is a fairly substantially high amount. We can continue to do so as long as the market outside of India gives us a better price. At the same time, I have to protect my domestic market as well. I just cannot exit domestic market and put all my paper in export just because in 1 year I get better realization from export. Because export market in the past, if you see, out of 4 years in a row, probably you make more money in export only 1 year. The other 3 years, you get a better realization from the domestic market. Therefore, it is very, very, very necessary that you have your foot well planted in the domestic market as well. That is our strategy. Our strategy is to export without really giving up our hold on the domestic market. Therefore, we can step up and scale up exports only if it really is warranted. Okay. Projects under consideration. I think, as I told somebody, some previous speaker, that we are also looking at projects where we can add some value to the paper that we already made. We are also looking at projects that will add volume, especially in the packaging segment. We are currently in the discussion internally. I think it will take us about 3 to 4 months to come up with a firm plan. But of course, you will come to know as soon as you finalize. But certainly we are working on CapEx. There is no doubt about it. Plastic ban, potted. How much of this? I think we have a very wide product mix. We are very much there in the printing and writing paper. We are very much there in the packing paper. We also make products which are, say, lightweight of 20 GSM, 30 GSM, etc., etc. We are in the multi-layer. We are in the single layer. Therefore, this plastic ban that is affecting this upstock, he will not really affect us to that extent. And in any case, I think some of the converters who are in the business, they are also looking for alternate coating material, which will be acceptable from the environment point of view. Therefore, it's a question of another 4 or 5 months. Again, this product will pick up momentum. As far as the HEB is concerned, Mr. Kapoor, I think it is purely market related. There is no policy or decision or anything like that that has really brought the prices down. Therefore, I would say that it is purely market related, prices have come down. Mr. Manisundaram, expenditure has increased, Mr. Manisundaram, because our production has gone up, our sales has gone up. Therefore, naturally, expenditure also will go up. Yes, I understand views with government departments, but what to do? I think government in most of the cases is the biggest people who drag us to the court. Don't necessarily we have to buy. That's what you find in our contingent liabilities that have been listed and provided. Expansion plans will be there. As I explained to the other shareholders, Manisundaram, we will expand. And both at E Road as well as I think at Tirunelveli. Physical and VC expenditure. Certainly, I think this VC AGM is far less expensive than physical. But I suppose you are not advocating that we should have our future AGMs also in VC. Government of India will decide as to whether what kind of an AGM we will have. And I think you are most welcome to visit us anytime, any mail, and then give us, if you be in touch with our office, we will make proper arrangements. And then I have also a chat, a question on the chat from Mr. Prajesh Maru. Thank you for the opportunity. What was your sales quantity for the first quarter of the current financial year? Sales quantity. We are very glad. Huh? Just a minute, Mr. Maru. You are on the line. As of 35,893 of last year, first quarter, sales in this quarter is 55,189 tons. My second question is, with the alteration of 2 machines to manufacture paperboard, how much paperboard we can produce now at 100% utilization? I think we can make about, say, about 30,000 tons per annum. Out of our 2 lakh tons, I think we can make about 40 to 50,000 tons of paperboard if we really desire to make the product. We have the flexibility and we have the capability to produce both paper grades as well as paperboard grades. And about 40 to 50,000 tons we can make with our existing facilities. If we have to convert these, if you have to utilize these machines exclusively for paper products. I suppose, I think that would answer your questions, and I think I have answered the various queries raised by the shareholders to the best of my ability. And if you have any supplementaries or you need any clarifications, etc., please mail us. We'll certainly respond to you quickly. That, I think, concludes the question and answer session. And we now move on to the concluding session. I think members may note that the voting on the NSDL platform will continue to be open for another 15 more minutes after the closure of this meeting. As of now, about how many shareholders? 197. 197. I'm so glad to say that our shareholder strength has increased. From the beginning, it was about 180. Now it is 197. Meaning that there has been a sustained interest. The shareholders, and I must thank all of them Shareholders are present for participating in this meeting and have remained so in most part of the meeting. I am thankful to the shareholders for their sustained interest. Members who have not cast their vote yet are requested to do so. The board of directors has appointed Mr. Shankar Subramaniam, practicing company secretary, as a scrutinizer to supervise the e-voting process. I hereby authorize Mr. S. Srinivas, for secretary, to declare the result of the voting and place the results on the website of the company at the earliest. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. And I think we had more than 180, 190 members participating today in this 62nd annual general meeting. We are grateful to all our shareholders from across the country. And thank you all for attending this meeting. And with the conclusion of all this business, I think I hereby declare the proceedings as closed. And I wish you good luck. Thank you. We can close the session.